Welcome to this video. In this video, we will be discussing about Azure Public DNS. So to begin with, you have to purchase a domain from a domain service provider. In this case, I got it from INAS. When it is ready, then you can go ahead and create a public DNS in Azure. Then you will have four different name servers here. So all you need to do is that you have to copy these and go to the configuration sections, name server. Make sure that these entries are properly updated. So in this case, I have updated all those four different servers listed under the Azure. Then once it is done, then it will take few hours to propagate. Then if you go and check the DNS lookup, then you will see if you search for this domain, then it will tell you that this is coming from this particular DNS, which should be our Azure DNS. It should be coming from our Azure DNS, right? Then you can create your subdomains. So in this case, I have created two different subdomains. A dot keep it simple karthik.com. That is my subdomain. Same thing here. So when you create your another public DNS, which is a subdomain, then you will have a name servers here. All you need to do is that you have to go to your parent or the root the DNS, create an entry here. This entry would be of a type ns name server, and add all those entries here, right? So if you go here, it's 38, so it should match here. So make sure that all the four entries are added here. The same way, I have created one more that is a different name server, which is also fine, right? So now we created a parent domain as well as the subdomain. Now let's see how do we create a record set in the subdomain, right? So in this case, in most of the time, you will be dealing with three or four different kind of type of entries in the DNS. So the very first thing would be the A record, which is saying that, hey, for this is my fully qualified domain name, and this should point to this particular IP. So which is basically like a mapping between your FQDN with your IP. That is what A record stands for. And the TXT, it's more like a label. This is used for a validation or verification purposes. For instance, you wanted to do some sort of a verification from a DigiCert, or some sort of a third party provider that wanted to ensure that this is your DNS. So they will give you some sort of a text that you need to add. When you do so, like when they do a query, this text will populate, then they can validate that. So this is more of a verification validation purposes. And there is one more thing called CNAME. This is kind of a alias. So here what we are saying is that this particular FQDN static web dot whatever is that, that is the this is kind of a alias to alias for the same. So either you can access with this or access with this. So this is more of a alias. It's what we can think of. And then, of course, we will have a ns record, name service record. Also, if you see here, there is a at symbol. At symbol represents the corresponding or the current DNS that you are in. So in this case, this at symbol represents this particular entry here. So if you have a for the name, if you have some sort of a text, then the text will come first, then your domain name, right? That's how it works. Now let's see, I have created a entry here called summarize here. So summarize has a record as well as the txt record. So if you see here for for this one, right? uh, so a record, it's the IP. And this text record, it's for it's used for let's encrypt external DNS. This is created by the external DNS, right? So when you access this application, you can access this application basically. When you access this particular URL, it will go to this particular DNS, and it the IP will be presented, then the request will be sent to that particular IP. And if you do a query against this particular URL, you will know which DNS it is hitting, right? So it is hitting 38, which should be our this particular DNS. Yeah, this is DNS, right? So in this DNS we have a record here. We have this summarized record here. So when you do a DNS lookup, then you will have this. So that's how the DNS works in Azure. Thank you for watching this video.